So you use communications more than you think, whether it's talking to your friends, talking to yourself, or just doing everyday tasks force you to use your communication skills. Through my communications class, I've realized how important it is and how it can benefit your life in a multitude of ways.
So this is a picture of me when I was younger, and yeah, I know, I'm cute. What happened? But you guys thought that when I was younger, I was great at communicating with others because I was very outgoing and I loved talking to new people. I always had a story to tell, always had something to tell someone, and I was always up for making new friends.
But as I grew up, I learned that what I guess we both thought was one of my greatest assets was actually one of my biggest weaknesses. I noticed that whenever I used to talk to you guys or interrupt you or tell you guys one of those stories that I always used to tell when I was younger, you guys would get really, really annoyed because I'd interrupt whatever you were saying and turn the conversation to myself.
So I didn't know what to expect while taking Com 100, but I learned that there's more to communications than just talking a lot or being good at public speaking. There's actually a lot of different factors that are important to communications and that it really is used in everyday life. Finally, our teacher told us in the beginning of this semester about our change project, where we had to pick one part of communications that we wanted or needed improvement on. So I knew right away that it had to be related to listening, which I know that you guys could agree with. And I eventually found while reading the textbook that stage hogging is a part of listening. And stage hogging is when you constantly interrupt people and turn the conversation to yourself.
I knew that I really wanted my goal for this semester to be to prevent myself from stage hogging. So as a result, I created a SMART goal, which helped me to make my goal specific, measurable, and realistic. This really helped me organize my goal and was able to make me make it more precise and reasonable as well. In order to decrease the times I interrupted people, I decided to measure the amount of times I found myself, or you guys found myself, interrupting someone, and then keep a tally of that on my phone. So each week I would start a new tally, hoping to see a general decrease over the next 8 weeks.
Here's a final bar graph of the results. As you can see, there was a dramatic increase during my third week and then a gradual decrease after that. So overall, there was a decrease in the amount of times that I interrupted people, but there were some slip-ups, and there was actually no change at all from week 6 to 7.
But as I was measuring my goal, especially after the third week, I became frustrated with myself because I was doing the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. But I had to first realize what was important in communications before I saw the results that I wanted. I had to figure out how I was able to fix my communication problem and then go from there. Interpersonal communication, or the root of all education, is the communication within oneself. It's virtually a person's self talk, or the little voice inside your head that affects almost every interaction a person has. For me, especially my change project, I found myself constantly talking to myself in my head because I never knew when was an appropriate time to talk or not. So in conversations, I would always think, oh, wait, can I talk now? Oh, wait, what about now? Is now a good time? And it felt like in my head that there was a battle sometimes for fear of slipping up and interrupting someone. But despite these frustrations, there were several factors that motivated me throughout the process. First, it was you guys. I want you all to know that when we do have conversations, I want you to know that I'm listening to you and that I'm genuinely interested in what you guys are saying. I'm not trying to sound selfish and turn the conversation to myself, and I do care what you guys are talking about. I also want you guys to understand that I'm not being selfish when I interrupt you or when I turn the conversation to myself. I want you guys to know that you guys can trust me and that I'm a helping hand whenever you need it. And when we have conversations, we can focus on you and only you during that time. We don't have to talk about myself at all. This 8 week change project, in no way, shape, or form, has been an easy process. You guys have definitely seen how mad I get whenever I slip up or mess up. But I know that this problem is fixable, and there's skills that I can learn in order to fix my stage hogging problem, and then I can work on it, not only now, but in the future as well. In class, I learned that neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to act and react in an ever changing way. The brain can constantly lay down new pathways for neural communication. So this relates to my change project because the more that I worked on my problem, the easier it was for me to try and overcome it. So, since this was a problem that I would be able to learn to overcome, why not take the risk? I had nothing to lose but everything to gain from this experience, and since I continued to work hard, I was able to see some results. Although the beginning was rocky, I felt that as the weeks progressed, I felt like I improved. I found myself interrupting less and actually feeling a lot happier about myself. Research has actually proven to show the positive correlation between happiness and communication. In class, we registered for an online class distributed by the University of Berkeley, which proved that improving your communication skills can also increase your happiness. Researcher Barbara Fredrickson and her student Kareem Johnson found that positive emotions make people more socially connected to others and that people are more trusting in these relationships. So not only did I feel happier with myself for not interrupting and coming off as selfish, but I felt like we created greater bonds because of this, because you guys knew that I wouldn't interrupt anymore.
In class, my teacher told us to evaluate the quote, even if you are on the right track, you will get run over if you just sit there. That quote couldn't have been more perfect for this project because although these skills can be learned, you have to keep on improving them throughout your lifetime. That's why I plan on sticking to this project way into the future.
In the end, although I wasn't able to completely fix my stage hogging problem, I've seen some improvement. I've learned to listen to the voice inside of my head, take risks because shit happens, and never give up hope because my goal is a learning process that can ultimately be reached. I found that my happiness increased and that I created closer ties with all of you. I hope that you guys do a similar project sometime in the near future.